But you may ask, 101 Dalmatians? What of it? What exactly makes Dalmatians so darn special?
As soon as Demna and I had decided that I was going to be transforming into Glenn Close, revisiting her iconic role as Cruella DeVil, we moved straight into the production of this 3 months ago. Neill Gorton over at Millennium FX, incredible artist who I've worked with for years, dove in with the sculpting phase. Now, there are so many artists behind these bulks of work. Dominic over at Wig Maker, who worked from these really fascinatingly complicated 3D renders of my teeth and emulating Glenn Close's current teeth just to make sure that we're to scale in the best way possible, getting not only the most advanced of practical effects, but paying homage as closely as possible. Whilst I think people are so used to just seeing me apply the end result, this 3 months of work from mould makers, 3D printing, silicone running, is an army of artists coming together to give you movie quality makeup transformations in a live setting. Practical effects makeup has advanced so much in the last 100 years. As a kid, I was so fascinated by the transformational process, and the fact that I still am now doing it with the best artists in the world is very much a full circle moment for me.
It's always interesting for me what becomes the signature feature of a character, and I think for this character it's the mouth and the hair.
I had connected with Dean Rees-Morgan, who is the conservator at Paul Huntley Archives a few years ago, through our mutual appreciation of Glenn Close's role as Cruella DeVil. He was kind enough to pull the original wig that Glenn Close wore as Cruella out of archives for this homage, which, as you can imagine, is a dream come true. Claudia, who is an incredible wig maker, moved forward by making custom wefting to match the original wig and slight alterations to the hairline. There were numerous wigs made for not only 101 Dalmatians but 102, and Paul Huntley and Glenn Close had an incredibly long relationship throughout their working career.
Right, if we have a look inside, all I did was reinforce the edge of the wig and gave it a little bit maroon on the sides to fit on Elliot's head, and I extended the hairline a little bit because his head is slightly larger than Glenn's. So let's block it up. This is the wig that Paul Huntley, the great Paul Huntley, made for Glenn Close when she played Cruella DeVil. I mean, he's wig royalty. It is lovely to have a piece of art in one's hand and to work with it, because if you start well, you end well. I've had fun doing this job, and I hope it will all be shining beautifully on Elliot Rentz's head, who is going to transform himself into Cruella DeVil.
It's funny, I'm going to take the illustration I have from the film with us to Paris. But I'm so scared Glenn's going to expect me to give it to her when she sees it. We're like, no, just if you could side the back of it for me. Sheppard came on board, who is again a renowned wig dresser, to recreate Paul Huntley's original style and set that we were referencing from 101 Dalmatians.
This bit's really coming to life. Yeah.
Do you want a little bit more quick on that?
I kind of love, I think even if this bit's just the only bit that sort of has that cleared divide and then it merges in together, that's nice having this, yeah, beautiful. So wild, I just can't. When people see the hair, people are going to die.
If you'd have asked me as a kid if I would end up wearing the original wig Cruella DeVil wore, I would have laughed, let alone being able to do it with just the incredible team and talents behind it, pumping so much love and attention back into such a historic moment.
This is a particular challenge to me because I really respect the original and I respect the effect that that classic character has had on generations of children. And I have a child who wanted to know why I didn't have the big white fur coat, why I didn't have, a red car, why I didn't, she knows exactly the, what the original character is. And, but we're not copying the cartoon, we're reinventing it. So I always have the original echoing in my mind, her atmosphere, her manic presence.
Academy Award-winning costume designer Anthony Powell was brought in to create the unique designs for Cruella's wardrobe.
As soon as Demna and I decided we were doing this, it was very obvious to us that we would be spoilt for choice in references and what direction to take it, but the most obvious choice for both of us felt that it was important to see Cruella DeVil finally in a Dalmatian print. Luckily for me, Demna had already referenced this in previous collections, so we also started working on this custom new look. For those that don't know, I obviously own the original sketch that Cruella DeVil obsessed over in the film, which is proudly in my house. I commissioned artist Samuel Harrison to re-envision what this would look like in 2023 as Glenn Close now revisiting that character, but also finally in this Dalmatian Balenciaga custom look. And I think the merging of all these elements and the deep referencing that not only Samuel did, along with me and the rest of the team, just created a really beautiful, modern, fresh take on such a historic thing that I know had such an impact on not only me, but millions of people around the world when Glenn Close's head peers over Anita's shoulder for the first time, and that burst of energy and obsessive, compulsive obsession she has over the Dalmatian sketch. Cruella DeVil would not be Cruella without her iconic red smoking stick, so we modernised this. I am a vapor, which everyone knows, so me and Ripple paired together in creating this vape stick in essence, 3D printed, fully fabricated by Millennium FX, and it just is the most incredible detail which really elevates this entire look for me.